it really gave me a reality check. And then we had to walk through, it was so many different factors going into, why the people that were coming in weren't being successful. One, of course, was me not being willing to put in enough time and effort to really train them and really give them the tools to survive or to be successful. But then the other flip side was the people that I was recruiting. Like, I was not recruiting the right type of people. I was not what do we say, prospecting up. Like, it was the people that I was bringing in, along with my inconsistency. So it was a lot of things that we had to talk through, that made me just make the decision that this is what I'm going to do. This is what God told me was possible and what He wanted for my life. And this is the vehicle that He gave me to do the things that I wanted to do, um, with my life, and just be able to help people in the way that I truly desire to help people. And so I just want you to really take back your control, and not, yeah, you want to look towards your team, but I want you to know this, like, all you need is Jesus and your work ethic and your belief, because He is your provider, and He will bring the people, He will bring the volume, He will do it. And so I just wanted to leave you guys with that bit of encouragement, because this is that time of the month where you start to get discouraged and you start to look around, and it's like, no, you just need to look up, pray, like Shirley said, believe it, pray, work for it, pray for it. What was the four? Y'all know the four. That's that's what you have to do. Like, you really have to do that. And it's so crazy for me to say that I did not want a team, and now I adore my team. Like, I love my team, and it's like they're flourishing, and it's so crazy to see how much has changed. And that was just 2 years ago, y'all. That was just 2 years ago. So and I promoted I went double diamond since that time. So anything is possible. Like, anything is possible. And I just want you guys to know that God is your provider. He will bring the people. He will bring the volume. You just got to believe it, and you have to work for it. You have to work for what you want, but you have to have that belief piece. That's the biggest thing.
Is that my cue? That's so good. It was so good. Um, I would even go a step further. I mean, only because I know, one thing I'm gonna tell y'all: be coachable and listen. I think a lot of people struggle with that, or they half listen. They half listen, half do the things that their upline has told them to do. Oh, it's kind of like we're just bringing it back to what was it, Monday or last Thursday, dipping and dodging and picking what parts you're going to actually listen to instead of just being a full listener. I think it comes to that point, and just being in a position to where your mentor can actually be honest with you about what it is that they see. Um, and what they have to give. And Brittany and I have always had that type of relationship, even when she didn't like it. And maybe it had something to do with the roots of our having an actual friendship. And because of the friendship, we knew each other's hearts, and she knew that I always wanted the best for her. I know a lot of times people come into this business and you don't know the person, but I know me being able to say, like, hey, this is what I see, from the outside looking at in. So even just moving past what you just said, um, there's another level to this. And so as much as I'm excited about where you've grown from, there's another level to it. And I know a lot of times as we go through the level, it's kind of hard to share about the level that we're currently on. But it's a whole nother level, even in terms of the caliber of the people that you attract or the people that you start to serve. You will attract the people that you see, that you believe that you are. That was a lot, but that's real. Like, you will literally attract the people based on the level of your own belief. You will sign people. And it's crazy because of how the spirits attach. You'd be like, okay, wait, like, she got issues. Yeah, so do you. You do too. Like, a lot of times you see, like, it's crazy. Like, I can, and this is across the board. And so the number one thing if you work on you for real, you'll get some for real people. Because I promise you, like, for example, posting non-compliant before and after pictures, just a random thing. Posting non-compliant before and after pictures. If I see a new distributor posting non-compliant before and after pictures, I can go to their uplines page and I can guarantee you that they're posting non-compliant before and after pictures. It's like from the head. It's crazy. And then it's like, oh, well, you know, it's a really good picture. It's not worth it because now you've just created a bad route. And now they like, well, you did it, so I could do it too. Like, what's wrong with it? You know? It's almost like a parent who says, don't drink, but they drink every night. Like, why shouldn't I not drink? Like, what's wrong with it? Like, you drink all the time. Why can't I drink? You know? Or it's a parent that smokes cigarettes and they like, but I don't ever want you to smoke cigarettes. Like, no, they're probably gonna smoke cigarettes, you know? So it's the same thing when it comes to you. If you're looking at your business or even looking at your team, because a lot of times people take too much time looking at their team instead of looking at themselves. A lot of times people take too much time looking at their team instead of looking at themselves. And if you look at yourself in the mirror, you'll be like, okay, there's a lot that I need to work on. You know, if you go through your to-do list of what your enroller has told you to do, have you done it? Have you done it? Something as simple as communication or whatever, y'all, you can insert whatever it is for you. And somebody put up like about cutting corners. I know y'all heard the thing before about cutting corners. You can cut the corners to get there. I promise you, you can. But you will not stay there. I've been here too long. I'm telling you. I've time after 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 time again. You can cut corners to find loyal customers. You can be janky. You can, you know, all of the above. You insert it. I try not to go too far because I might hit you. You might be like, oh, she talking to me, you know. But you can do whatever it is that you want to do, but it won't sustain. It won't last. It's crazy. My pastor last week was talking about marriage, and it was crazy. She was doing the most, but she was talking about marriage, and she was talking about y'all kids around. She was talking about having sex and getting married, right? And she was talking about the difference in the relationship before you're married. And I mean, I could attest to it. It was like you telling a story a little bit right now. But she was talking about how, like, when you are married, before you get married, like, sex is like the most important part of your relationship. It really is. It's like time and sex. Like, it's just like, oh, he ain't having sex with me, he don't love me. Like, he don't love me. Like, why we ain't? It's been 3 days. Like, that's real before you get married. But after you get married, it don't take the sex to know that there's love. And I ain't, now, don't get me wrong, okay? I'm not saying that, but it don't take all that. Like, that sounds so crazy from a single mind, a single perspective. It sounds so crazy, but it's real. It's so real. And so on the flip side, when you think about, and I'm not saying don't please your husband, okay? I'm not saying it. But on the flip side, like, I'm thinking about the business and the longevity. There is a whole different set. I think about GoPro. Like, if you go back and read GoPro, like, through a lens after you've been in the business for a year, this is why I say you read the book every year. Because when you go back and look at it from a different lens from when you started or from the year before, it's like, whoa, wait. It is different. Like, there's some different stuff to grasp from this book right now in this moment, right? Because now you have a whole different lens that you're looking at it from. It's like, I was not a professional. I was just chasing a promotion. I wasn't seeing myself 5 years from now. I was just trying to make some money. I wasn't realizing that when I do stuff or I'm not attentive or I'm not followed up with my customers or whatever, I am literally creating a disease in my organization. Not showing up on my team on. Yeah, but if you can listen in, you should probably listen in. Even if you can't be fully present, you can come in the comments and say, hey, I'm at the basketball game. I used to do this here all the time. I'm at the basketball game tonight, but I did want to listen in. Especially if it's the varsity game and my husband ain't coaching. I'm just sitting there. It's different if my son is playing opposed to his team ain't playing right now. And I'm just watching my kids run up and down the bleachers. I can listen in, you know? But I think that comes with how I view my business and how important it is to me. And then where I want my business to go. I was thinking about earlier, and I loved how everything that you shared, Brittany. But I was thinking about earlier about how just in terms of longevity in this business, like looking at it from a longevity standpoint, and what you say you want versus how you act. That's a big difference for a lot of us. And sometimes you don't even know how to act because you've never been around a person who's doing what you're doing, what you say you want. And then when you get around the person who's doing what you say you want, you be like, oh, that's too much. And then so do you even know what it is that you really desire? Because a lot of us want something and we don't understand the sacrifice that it takes to get it. For example, let's go on back to marriages. A lot of people want to be married until you know understand the sacrifice of being married. Oh, I just want the companionship and love, and I just want him to be here every night and the ring on my finger. And it's like, boo, you don't know what comes with that ring. You ain't finna change him just because it's a ring on your finger. If you don't know Jesus, you shouldn't get married. Let's just be clear. And you better get to know him real fast. It's the same thing with a business. I want to make 5 figures a month. Do you? Are you willing to sacrifice at the level that I sacrifice in order to make 5 figures a month? Are you willing to grow in strength? Because that's what we just read in Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. It's not about things getting easier. They will never get easier. Okay? I'm sure that 20-pound weights stay 20 pounds. They don't change. But if you lift them mugs up every day, eventually it ain't gonna be hard to lift them. You're gonna be like, this is nothing. Let me go up to 30, maybe 25. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you see people, I remember going to the gym, y'all seen people who be having them like 100-pound weights, and I'll be like, you're doing too much. But, you know, maybe even lifting 90 for a month, 2 months, 3 months, I don't know. You know, he built his way up, so I can't hate on his 100. I can't even hate on it because I don't know his journey. I don't know his process. And so you work your way up to the things that you say you really desire, but it comes with consistency. That comes with being consistent. You have to be consistent. If you're not consistent, it's just not going to happen. You can't lift 20 pounds one day because guess what's going to happen? You lift 20 pounds the first day, and because you had determination in your soul, you lifted them. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And then you come back tomorrow and you can't even walk. Okay? Like you got a buckle in your knees. And you be like, this ain't even for me. This not for me at all. But if I would have started with something that was manageable, like a 10, so I would have been able to do the same thing tomorrow and just build up to the 20. It's the consistency. And so when you think of somebody who makes, I don't know, how much money y'all want to make every month? Let's talk about it. Like consistently, not hit a rank, consistently. Looking at it. Got a variety up in here, which is good. And then I also say, why do you want to make that kind of money? That's a real important question. Why do you want to make that much money? Ooh, and here's the thing. How about this? Somebody just everybody, after y'all share how much money that you want in the comments, and then I want you to drop a 1 in the comments if the amount of money that you desire to make a month is so you don't have to struggle. Y'all, you have to go beyond the struggle. The Bible says that God will supply all of your needs according to his riches in glory. And last time I checked, his streets were paved with gold, so he's not hurting for a dime. And so I suggest before conference that everybody take some time and pray over your goals. Ask God to truly give to you why he put you in the position to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. He did not put you in a position to make hundreds of thousands of dollars for you to pay your bills. I mean, that's just going to happen. And I did not go beyond, actually, well, I could say that. I did not go beyond making 5 figures a month, like just $10,000 a month, until I realized that it wasn't even about me. But I didn't go diamond until I realized it wasn't about me. And I mean, go diamond and sustain it. My sustaining of my diamond was realizing this business wasn't about me. My focusing forward was the reason why I wanted to get into rooms is so I can come back and give it to my team. It's so crazy. And then some of y'all have to be in the room to realize that you have everything that you need. You're just not using it consistently. It's the belief factor. It's the belief factor. You have to believe it. And then it goes back to, I mean, Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. I guess that book is just ringing in my head. I'm glad I reread it. Well, we read it, but I reread it. I'm glad, because even going to the whole worthy thing, like where he did the whole night thing, which was so funny. But do you need somebody to tell you that you're worthy? That's a problem. And most of us do. We itch for the recognition. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with recognition. It's awesome. And then we take somebody else's recognition as a pun to the fact of we're not good. Well, why they didn't pick me to recognize? Dang, I guess I'm not good enough. Like, what? Who you be around? Where does that even come from? God is not lacking with love. Maybe that's not your place for recognition at the moment. Or maybe he knows that there's something that you should be doing that you're not doing, that you don't need no recognition right now. You need to just be obedient and do what you're supposed to be doing. Or maybe it's to the point where, I'll say that when it comes to this squad, I know 100%. The reason why y'all not being recognized is because there's way too much inside of you that you're not using. There's way too many things that you've been taught that you don't do consistently. It's when you feel like it. Well, I feel like it today. I am ready. I am turned up. I am feeling energized. I'm sending 100 messages today. What happened to your PMF SDPD? Well, you know, SD, the radio, the song, I was in the car jamming today. So I decided not to turn on my podcast. And then I got up late and I don't know, wanted to have a phone conversation with my girlfriend. And then Netflix came on and what do you really want? So I can talk y'all through, and maybe some other people can chime in. Like I'm gonna tell y'all, when it comes to being a diamond, hands down, diamond is not a big deal. I mean, it's a big deal, like for you to reach it, it's a big accomplishment, but it's not untouchable. It's a big accomplishment. It's not untouchable. But in order to, and here's the thing, you can't tell somebody to do something that you're not doing. And I think I just said that earlier, but I gotta repeat it. You cannot tell somebody to do something that you're not doing. I was just thinking about like when it comes to cooking for my family, or how I went and I started using the containers to meal prep for my family after I cook, so that there is food in my refrigerator at all times. Okay, Lord. So, and then seeing different things, like knowing what it is that my kids eat, and like for example, like Zayden and Zaire have never had beef or pork. Why? Because I don't eat beef or pork. Their dad eats it. but they don't need beef and pork. That's something that I decided. But I can create meals for my boys because what? I don't need beef or pork. If somebody asks me about how do I do something, it's because I do it. I can point somebody in the direction of somebody who does something, but I can't. And I'm okay with giving credit to everybody. Like, for example, this morning we was talking about edge control, color edge control. And I was like, Robin hit me the game. Okay. And she got it from the beauty supply. I don't know. Ask Robin. Because I ain't even bought no more. Right. But it helped to play out for some I need to buy some more. Right. But that's not my expertise. I just used it. Now, if I'm out here with black edges all the time and you trying to figure out, like, girl, your edges is fleeky. Now, it might be like collagen in hair, skin, and nails. But if it ain't collagen, hair, skin, and nails, I'll be like, girl, go get this edge control. It'll fill in your gaps. It'll be all right. You will make it. Y'all get what I'm saying? But you cannot tell people to do something that you don't do. You can't. What's the edge control, bro? I know that's right. And I think a lot of times we want to be experts and tell people what to do. It reminds you, anybody work a job? Anybody work a job in here? Anybody ever worked a job? Yes, everybody has worked a job. And like, I had a supervisor over my team. I'm talking about my last job. I had a supervisor over my team, and she did not go out in the field. She was sitting in appointments every once in a while, but she wasn't really working in the field. The problem is when people get promoted, they no longer work in the field and they work in the office, and then they trying to tell people who work in the field how to work in the field. That's not how this works. Stop trying to tell people how to work in the field. And we ain't talking about the cotton field. Or the tobacco field. Depends on where your family was from. We ain't talking about that field. But you can't tell people how to work in the field and you work in the kitchen. Now you can give me advice on working in the field from what you went through, but you cannot tell me currently how to work in the field. And a lot of people, when they get teams, they stop working in the field. But that's what this business is all about. You have to fall in love with the field. And so what do you love about the field? I love the cash. I love seeing people get results. I love seeing people believe in themselves. I love seeing people be consistent. I love seeing people get healthier. And so what do? You focus on that. Who can I help get some results today? Checking on my loyal customers. Okay, you've been taking gummies for a week, yes or no? Like, have you been taking them? All right, send me a picture. I don't care if you don't want to share them. I need you to see your results. What do you love? You love the connection on live? Go live every day. You literally get to create what you desire here. You get to create it. You get to create it. And I think that's the thing a lot of people struggle with. Like, I ain't no fraud. Like, I'm not finna pretend. Don't pretend. Be it then. Stop pretending. I don't pretend. This is who I am. This is who I am. All day. All day. In my house. On the bed. I just wish y'all would understand, and even for myself, because there's levels to this. Let's be clear. That's why I was telling Brittany at the beginning. Like, there's levels to this. And I was telling my diamonds, a lot of times what happens, y'all know how I told y'all when a new distributor comes in, they hit the wall. I talked about the wall years ago, I feel like. But they hit the wall, that first wall, they get that first solid discouragement. Like, not the little discouragement, like the solid discouragement that almost like takes you off your feet. I don't know. Everybody's is different. And if they don't jump back in with a heart of belief, they will not make it. My first wall was when I got my Ruby check. And my husband turned his auto ship off, but he was my boyfriend. I got my first Ruby check and I was like, oh, okay, this $200 is cute, but I need more money because I've been working. And he was like, well, if you ain't grateful for that, God definitely ain't gonna give you more. And I was like, all right, I'll shut up and keep going to work. I'm gonna shut up because I want the big bucks. So I'm just gonna hush and keep working. And then we went through so many things, and I don't know. I guess Brittany can talk through to this because she's been here for a while. Keisha too, and then Brittany. But I know like we went through a lot, like the do not disturb, being distracted in meetings, not even being present, still on your phone but listening, which means partial listening. Does everybody in your household get partial listening? Does every activity that you do get partial listening? Do you have boundaries? Like, why should God bless you? All you'll do is take it and then ruin your family. You'll become so obsessed with the success that you'll lose everything. The Bible says, what is it to gain the whole world but to lose your soul? And there's a lot of people who lose their soul. That's why they leave, because they're itching for the next thing. I remember going into meetings. Don't be in Monday meetup with me in person and your phone juking. I'm gonna be like, hey, you have to turn, because you're being a distraction to everybody. Like we agree when we come to this table because we're giving our time that we're gonna be here in the moment. I'm literally away from. I have two phones, one for the plug and one for the load. I remember one time being over a friend's house. Actually, it was at Toya house. I was at Toya house, y'all, it was Landon birthday party. And my phone was not on do not disturb. And it was sitting on the table in the dining room on purpose. And Vontae came up to me and he said, Rachel, your phone is like going off back to back to back. I said, baby, that's normal. I said, that is normal. That's why my phone stays on do not disturb. And if y'all didn't watch Pastor Todd yesterday, Pastor Todd talked about this. He talked about the notifications on your phone and how God may be wanting to talk to you, and he'll use your spouse, your kids, and to call your name and take you out of that and to distract you. The enemy will use anything. And so I just decided that most of the time my phone on do not disturb, because I don't want to be. But for example, today is Martin Luther King Day. Shout out to MLK, right? But it's a man-made holiday. Do you go by man-made, or do you create your own schedule? For me, my off day is Wednesday, not Monday, because the United States told me I'm off on Monday. We have people who didn't show up today because the United States told them that they're off. But that's a shift in mindset, y'all. Yeah, your kids may be home, but shoot, with quarantine, you should be used to that. You got to get out here and get with some people who've been doing this. I just introduced the squad today to high chair time. Put them kids in the high chair, strap them in. Okay. if they that age. But you get to dictate and decide. And I don't know, you have to strengthen it. It's a muscle. Being successful in this business is a muscle, which is why we do so much mental work. It's a muscle. And if you do not build your mind, you will not make it. It does not get easier. You get stronger. It's peaceful, Javon, for me. I call, so my do not disturb allows me to be the thermostat and not the thermometer. If I am, first of all, if y'all have never watched Social Dilemma on Netflix, please watch it. They pay so much attention to you. I don't know if y'all realize, but like if I haven't watched Netflix. I mean, not Netflix, but Netflix do it too. But I haven't watched TikTok. Stop allowing notifications on your phone, like from these different things. But if I haven't been on TikTok, TikTok will be like, you got a new like. I go and a like is like from 2 days ago. It's like, I don't have, like, really? You just wanted to get me on your app. Like, I don't even have no new likes. Like, they just want to draw you in because they know normally around this time of the day, you sit and scroll with us for like two hours. So let me put you a notification and tell you got to like. Facebook do it too. All the apps do it. So stop falling for the okie doke. Be the thermostat and not the thermometer. Oh, y'all didn't like that? Because if somebody talked about you and be like, you fall for the okie doke. How you feel? How you feel? You be like, no, I don't. Like, me, I don't fall for the okie doke. Like, I can see. I can see clearly into what this situation. I don't fall for the okie doke. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Somebody be like, oh, you fell for the okie doke. Be like, what is the okie doke? I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what it is. We just know it's not good. We just know it's not good, and I don't fall for the okie doke. It's crazy. Y'all know what I'm talking about too. Because if somebody know, do y'all know what the okie doke is? What is it? We don't know. Lord.
It's not always the same. It's just
it depends.
Whatever, right? Whatever the BS is, basically.
Right. We ain't falling for the okie doke. So that's the thing. Your phone is constantly making you fall for the okie doke. And then you be like, well, what if my mama call me? Like, put your mama on your favorites and make it to where your favorites can come through. I have a list of favorites. And so anytime they call me, it automatically comes through because it's important. Even though, you know, it's always important. Yes. Yes. It's the I cannot. That's real. It's real. I don't think we've realized how much we've given away our power. Yeah, I went down to my grandparents' house and I just loved the peace and the solace. Like, I loved it. I mean, not that they got all the electronics and all that, but it was just something so like, like life is so simple. Do you need to simplify your life and stop complicating it? You may need to simplify your life. People will like you regardless. Rewind. The right people will like you regardless. They will find you interesting without the okie doke. I'm for real. Without it, they will. It kind of takes me back to Becoming. And if you haven't watched that, go watch the last one. Your 1,000 fans. You will never find your 1,000 fans if you're not yourself. You will not. You will not find your 1,000 fans. See, and I think about this even in regards of Beyonce. Like, if y'all don't know me, obsessed is kind of, it was a nice word for how I felt about Beyonce. Like, I was a little beyond obsessed with Beyonce, okay? Really beyond it. So my husband proposed to me at the Beyonce concert. Like, we traveled to go see Beyonce. Like, it was a whole nother level, right? I mean, we did. We traveled to Chicago. We traveled to Miami. Like, we would go see Beyonce anyways. So I think, and it's crazy. One time my pastor asked me, so what do you love about Beyonce? And it was really just her resilience, her ability to be in a bubble, and her commitment and her determination. It was really just the attributes that she showed. I mean, I loved her music, but it was really just her ability to be top of the line. That's what I loved about Beyonce. She was top of the line. Anytime she came forth, she was top of the line. And so I'm a forever fan. I just had to back up for years, probably about 2 years. I had to back away because it was not healthy. She low-key could have been on my throne. Like, it was not a healthy relationship. But now I can just be inspired, but God is first. And so the question is, what has the first place for you? And that's for everybody. I don't know why I just gonna let my kids break this one. Whew. So I miss my Apple Watch. Okay. But I mean, Beyonce could literally say this and I'm gonna do it if it's in my budget. Back then, because that's just a loyal fan. Because you trust their judgment. You don't have to, there's certain barriers that are already broken. So for example, if you trust me and we built that relationship, I could say, for me, this has been the best blank, and you're looking for one, you're going to buy it. Because you trust me and you've connected with me. And like, for example, I have a friend, I'm gonna tell you, I'm flowing today. If y'all want to say something, just interject. But I have a friend who's like a crunchy mama. And if y'all don't know what a crunchy mama is, a crunchy mama is somebody who likes natural things, right? It's somebody who just like loves all naturalness, right? And she's been like this since I was not. So like since she had her baby, about 10, 15 years. It's just how she's been. Right. And so I always go to her for suggestions when it comes to stuff. And she completely switched over to being vegan a while ago. Like she has been using natural house cleaners for a long time. I'm just now getting hip to that. And all these different things. And so when I want something for my household or for my kids, and I don't think she understands I know she don't understand how influential she could really be, because of how committed she is to her lifestyle. That was good. How committed are you to your lifestyle? Or do you float with the wind? How committed are you to your lifestyle? That's good. That's a real question to ask yourself. But because she's so committed to her lifestyle, I know I can always count on her for a recommendation. She's the one who suggested the book that I read about giving my baby shots. I just share more, so I be telling everybody everything that I learned. And so I read the book, I gained the knowledge that I need to gain, I know her view on the things, and then I made my own personal decision. It empowered me. It empowered me to make my own informed decisions. She's the reason why I did hypnobabies. Yes, shots. So that's good. How committed are you to your lifestyle? But that's a real question, y'all. I even had to ask myself, how committed am I to being debt free? I believe my number is $40,389.10, besides my house and my federal student loans. How committed am I to looking that in the face? Because when you look it in the face, you don't buy new shoes. When you got a closet full of shoes. You have shoes. You don't need new shoes. So if I say that I really want to be team no bills, I need to focus on my bills and not some new shoes. I need to focus on my debt and not a new car. Or it would be nice, but your car's still running. So it can be nice after you pay off your debt. Don't you want to be free? How committed are you to your lifestyle? I want to be sexy. Well, stop eating donuts. But they so good. I know. Just when you walk up, say, Lord, help me. I know. My son cooks. I get it. Or consistently take your products. Because if y'all think for 5 seconds I don't eat donuts, y'all got another thing coming. I eat donuts. I eat them sometimes. I don't eat them every day, but you know what I'm saying? Like, my son, he a baker. He make cookies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to take my products. Just saying. I eat them.
Rachel,
But I also move my body every day. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you kind of skated past where you talked about seasons, but something makes me think we can reel it back there a little bit, for those of us who've been in the business a little bit. And it's one of those things that, when you go through, you're going to go through different seasons. That's the period, right? Different seasons in your life. and deciding before season changes that your business doesn't get to be one of the things that you negotiate. So a lot of times people say my business has to be the thing that I release when I become pregnant, or when I lose my, okay, during my business, I've lost a house, a car, many different things in the seasons of my business, and thankfully God allowed me to have belief when things looked unbelievable. But I think it's important to, before you get there, decide that your business won't be the thing that you get to push to the side. It's almost like, you know, because of how we regard our regular day jobs, no matter what's happening, you always show up because you've connected it to your light bill, or you've connected it to your rent or your mortgage. And so giving your business more, respecting it a lot more when you put it on that level. So for me, it was like, no matter what's happening, not making my business something that is like, oh, that happens, great. No, it's like, this has got to work. And being real with yourself, that saying that the success that you can get in this business, all of us on here, it's not optional for anybody. I don't know anybody personally, but I'm pretty sure I'm not staring at anybody with $1 million in the bank. Like, I'm sure about that. And so, and then making it where we're just like, it's not like, oh, it would be great if I'm successful. Like, no, no, this is the source that God is using to make me become a millionaire. You know what I mean? Because although God can do things supernaturally, I learned this thing, right? And hopefully it doesn't go over your head, but you can live off principles, not miracles. You can't live off miracles. Living off miracles is like saying I can live off of somebody randomly blessing me all the time. Like, you get a random, you know, like somebody, or you, like, I can live off going to the food bank, or you can't live off that. It's, you know what I mean? But I can live off the principle of things because I know. And so when I think of like me becoming a millionaire, this is the source that God can use. Although he can drop $1 million out the sky, he's a just God and he's orderly. You know what I mean? They aren't for you, they're for unbelievers. That is so true. For us, it's supposed to be culture. You know what I mean? And so when we talk about seasons, I've seen so many different seasons in my business, but just being able to say my level of belief, I have to work on my level of belief, not diminishing based on what things look like for me. You know what I mean? A promise is still, I'm connected to the promise, not necessarily, that doesn't mean, I still believe the promise. That doesn't mean the process is diminished because of the promise. Like, the promise is still the promise, right? Like, here's the promise. I'm giving you the promise, but I didn't say X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to happen. And so just a forewarning, PSA, there's going to be different seasons in your life. And just, you know, when all of those things happened to me, it wasn't that my business didn't work. There were some things that I had to learn, right? There's some stewardship things that there was some becoming that had to happen for me. And so making that decision when you're in a peak, make the decision that when the valley comes, I'm not going to stop, because really in the valley is where I learned most of everything. And you guys have heard that before, that everything you'll get in your space of being in a valley. So just knowing that if you're feeling great behind the scenes right now in your business, it's in 3 months, it could be different, but you have to decide now, like, oh, I'm gonna come back, you know, once I like had a baby, and I'm only saying I just had a baby. Once I had a baby and kind of get things settled, or once I get my own place, or once I have a little bit more money, or once, or whatever it may be, like deciding now, give up something else, not your business. Give up something else, not the things that God has actually put in your life to sustain you. And so I guess I want to say, wherever you are in your business right now, still keep your high level of belief. You know what I mean? Like, I knew that the one thing I could say in my business that I have been able to do, that I'm proud of, I've had my thing where I haven't been able to reload double or triple, but I've always been able to reload diamond since I've gone diamond. And I'm proud of myself for that. But I think the biggest reason for that is because of how I regarded what I had no choice to make. It's how I regarded that. Like, it wasn't optional if I wasn't around that, you know, somewhere around that average. It wasn't optional. It couldn't. I can't. Like, just how when you go to work, like, y'all know y'all be going to work sick and tired and sick, be logging on to work, mad, but you do it because you're like, them lights, them lights, I need them to come on. And you gotta, and it's not that you're doing it for survival, but you're regarding your business to the place where it's not the thing that I get to sit down. So that's all I have. I just want y'all to know the seasons are a coming, okay? And it's gonna look different. But what's so great is spaces like these. So some of the things that Rachel experienced or that I experienced or anyone else, if you listen closely, you won't have to experience them. You know what I mean? And so now Rachel's, putting us in a place like emergency funds and things of that nature, right? Where it's now the things that we may have not been as versed in, you get to know, so you don't have to experience it if you're willing to take someone else's experience. Because there was some time I went through season and my checks weren't even that low. So it was really just me. And so take this space and like really honor these spaces where we talk about things beyond the business, because it puts you in a place to take someone else's knowledge and turn it into wisdom for you. And that's like bomb. That's like bomb. Like, so some of the things that Rachel did to go ambassador, if I listen, I'm not gonna do those things. Nope, I ain't doing that. You know why? Because she did it. She got to feel the pain for it. She felt the pain for all of us for it. And if I look closely and I hear, right? And I hear, then I can do it. And last thing I'm gonna say, yesterday my pastor said, in order to go over, you got to get under. And what that means is being under this authority and hearing everything. When you're under authority, God is teaching you your authority, if that makes sense. Like he's teaching you your authority to get under, so you can get over. But I'm proud of y'all for getting through the seasons and not putting your business down for no reason or nobody.
That's good. So like Keisha just said, like we'll put our businesses down or whatever. For me, I like got to the point where I was becoming a professional inconsistent person. Like my inconsistency was just like off the wall. And I had to figure out, like, it was easy for me to neglect my business or put my business on the back burner because that's what I do to myself. Everybody else is always first. And so I had to get that understanding that my business is me. So whether it's my health journey or whether it's, just making money in the business, either way, like Rachel says all the time, people buy into you before they buy into the products or the business. So you can't neglect yourself. We have to be consistent using our products, consistent showing up. I had to realize that, okay, I look at my schedule, there's no time for me to work out unless I get up earlier. So even though I have to be at work at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning working out. Why? Because if I don't do it, it won't get done. And so you just have to finally decide. But first you have to believe. And so I think we were listening to, Brittany was playing Mara's story earlier, and she said either you believe in your creator or you believe in people. And that hit me, like, because people will mess you up. My husband, he quit. He wasn't supportive for a long time. But each and every day, he's like, saying little stuff, doing little stuff. He's paying more attention. Why? Because now I'm consistent. Now I'm trying. Now I'm putting in the effort. So I always tell people, like, you have to believe and then decide, because once you make that decision, it just becomes a part of who you are. And it's easier to be yourself. You find out things about yourself that you didn't really even know about yourself before. And that's why I love about this business is that you get so much more on the inside, and it just makes the outside just glow. Like you'll hear people say all the time, oh girl, you going, not knowing, like, being consistent, doing the things. That's what I've been telling the couple people that I have on my team. Cause I was like Brittany too. I was like, I don't want no team. I'm just gonna make sure my auto shipment run and that's it. Get my results. But that's not why I'm here. Right. And so, yeah, just want to encourage y'all to believe and then decide, and then you're able to walk it out.
I think it's just a millionaire mindset. Or if you don't want to be a millionaire, just a consistent mindset. Like you can't do things for applause, because applause fades. Applause fades. It's almost like a child. I think about that. Like we expect to be treated like a child for the rest of our lives. What do you mean, Rachel? What I mean is my kids right now need encouragement. And sometimes, knowing the temperament of the kids, some kids need more encouragement than others. and they're going to get as much encouragement as they can. But then when I see that they're doing things and they don't need the encouragement, I'm not going to consistently give, like, Trey does not get the encouragement that Zaire gets. Zaire, literally everything he does, and Zayden, that's good. I need to be on 12. Whereas Trey, it may be something subtle. It's not that he doesn't get the encouragement. It's just subtle, but I want him to do it because he wants to do it, not because I'm encouraging him. So for example, I've been talking to my son about reading books for the longest, that I have 1 million books in my office, all things that will grow his heart and his mind. But he loves to read, but he loves to read fantasy books, and not the type of fantasy I thought about. So what I would do is I was like, you should read these books. And so I bought him Rich Dad Poor Dad for teens for Christmas, or Santa did. And he read it, and he was just so intrigued and just loved it, and just the business aspect of it, that today he came in my office and got the real one, the real Rich Dad Poor Dad. And now it has nothing to do with me anymore. And so I'm continuing to encourage him. Does that mean that I might not sit? And my encouragement for him may be sitting down and having dialogue with him about the book that he's reading, opposed to saying, Trey, I'm so proud of you for reading this book. My dialogue alone is saying, man, my mom is really, now I have conversations that I can have with my mom. We're sitting down talking about money. My son paid a seed offering yesterday, like all the adults. Listen, he got more in his bank account than a lot of people. And it ain't just because his mama feeding it. It's because he made it. Understanding how to be an entrepreneur. And he like, yeah, I'm so to see. It's Valentine's Day coming up, It's about to go down, So, but as an adult is what I'm saying. We be like, okay, yes, is she gonna tell me I did good? I signed a loyal today. Like, no, tell yourself you did good. Like, get up and dance. Like, I go back to what I said the other day. Like, I finished my steps last week and went upstairs and danced with my kids. I don't need you to tell me good job. But I can teach you how to do what I'm doing. Rachel, how you do that with all them kids? And just listen, it's important for me. It's been important for years. Probably back in 2016 is when I started saying that I complete my steps in my first week. I started saying that, and then I started doing it. Does it happen every month? No. But even going back to the seasons like you should talk about, I mean, do seasons happen in your life? Yes or no? Period, right? Regardless. Period. Like, they're going to happen regardless. Why do you show up to all of these calls with so much hope and believing that your business can change, and then this is the one thing that you step away from? Or like Christy Christensen said, like, her business is one of her children. Now, how dare I not pay attention to one of my kids? So it's what perspective do you have on your business? For me, my hierarchy goes that it's God, my husband. You can say family, but I don't believe in just saying family, because if you're married, your husband comes first. And I think a lot of times we get it twisted. If you're not married, and I'm talking biblically sound here, like, I don't know, go read your Bible if you don't believe me. And I wasn't saying it in a shady way. But if you're not married, your kids come first. Whew. That was something that I had to realize. Like, my son comes first. If you want to be first, then you gonna make me first. You gonna do it. You're gonna put yourself in that position if I let you, because if I say yes. But if he wants that position, make him give it to you. Whew, that's heavy. Heavy. You got so heavy on me. Talk. Had to light it up. but your kids come first. And if you're married, your spouse comes first. And, you know, you have to pray about that. And I'm going to tell y'all, just because we care about the whole person and not half the person, I have a book that stays right beside my bed. If you think for 5 seconds that the Wiggums don't have disagreements, you're wrong. Okay, we're just friends. And so our disagreements look a little different because we're friends. And I tell on him with the quickness. And so are you submitted to somebody? And not his mama. I don't tell his mom. We're not submitted to his mother. I love Eartha, but we're not submitted to her. And so if you're in your marriage, if you don't have somebody that you're submitted to or that you can tell on your spouse, then because he's not submitted to anybody, that's a problem. Because he know in the quickness, I will tell on you. Okay? Don't play with me. We will be in counseling all day today. Taking up all your time. Okay, we're gonna talk through this. So that's important too, like to have somebody that he is submitted to as well. But I'm telling y'all, by my bedside, I don't know who need to hear this, but I got a book. It's called Pray Big for Your Marriage. I love that book. There are prayers in there. You can read straight through it. But I keep it there and I write my husband's name in it. I write out specific prayers. You pray for your spouse because God can change him, not you, not your nagging, not your talking. Well, if I just say it like this, maybe he'll understand. No, shut up and go pray. That was for me. Because listen, because I like to talk. I'd be like, listen, in the Bible say in verse 3. Yeah, I know I do. I know y'all can just see it. Like, you just Woo, Bria, did you read your Bible today? Because I highlighted the part that I wanted you to read. Buying them books. Did you read Pray Big for Your Marriage? Because I need you to pray for our marriage, okay? It's real. But y'all. Woo, but I'm for real. Like, yeah, it's you don't need the recognition that you think you need. Because what happens is once you get up there and you start getting the recognition, if you're itching for the recognition, what happens when the recognition no longer comes? And then on top of that, what happens when you get the recognition, but you don't feel like you're worthy of the recognition? And that's why it always goes to the side. I had texted my bishop this morning because I was just meditating on the word from yesterday. And I texted him and I said, oh, I'm just meditating this morning on the word from yesterday. I'm just so grateful. And he said, which I think he said to me, he texted me right back, and my bishop don't text back. So maybe he was up having his time too. It would be days before my bishop texts me back. What y'all think he said to me? Anybody know? No, he didn't say amen. He said, to God be the glory. That's what they taught me. That wasn't me. That's just knowing. It's knowing. It's knowing. It's never you. You are merely a vessel that God pours oil in. He's the oil, not you. Well, God was crushed, but you're still not the oil. You were crushed in order to produce the oil that God puts in you. You ain't the oil. Don't get it twisted. You are merely a vessel that was broken and he put back together. And so that's understanding where our help comes from. And so, yes, I told him because sometimes people need their heart encouraged. And I don't know, maybe that's why God had me put that out there today. But your ability to go forth and be broken and allow the oil to run from you. And sometimes people don't understand what people have to go through in order to get the oil. No idea. Most of the times when people bring forth word, actually, ain't no most of the times. If you see somebody who is leading an organization, just know the hell that they go through is 10 times worse than the hell that you're going through. I would say 100 times, but I give you 10. So if you think you're going through something, you just don't know all their business. Because they've learned how to walk gracefully. Yeah, y'all know the song by Tasha Cobbs, Gracefully Broken. If y'all never heard it, that's one of my favorite songs. Gracefully broken. They broke. They just do it gracefully. So this week is conference. Everybody excited? I'm excited. Oh my God, no. Hashtag it works. It does. I'm just I was saying like the product works. All right. Who got gummy results? Let's talk about this, because let's talk about before and after pictures real quick. Who's been taking the gummies for at least a week? Why we ain't seen y'all pictures? I already talked to Cass about this. What did I say before? Rewind back. If you want people to do something, you have to do it. You want your team to put out before and after pictures? Do it. It ain't been long enough. Girl, do you think you can only have one before and after picture? That don't even make sense. Submit another one in at week 2. Shoot, do 2 days. Who cares? If you see a difference, it encourages your heart. So who needs to submit a before and after picture today? Brittany. Go take a picture today, right now. You ain't on camera, so go take a picture. Even if it's been, listen, go take the pictures. The pictures get the coins. Take the pictures, y'all. Well, go submit them for your hair. Yes, go do it. It's a lot of people who ain't got gummies yet, but your mug sold out. I know. Sorry to hear that. I see you. Listen, my grandma got all, y'all should have ordered the day. So, okay, so let's talk about this real quick. Total Leadership this morning. The new product is going to cost $49. Okay, you're going to want to buy 2 of them. When you buy 2, it's going to be $79. You are going to want to buy 2 of them. Find the money right now. Save the money right now. You need to be able, $79 plus tax and shipping. You know what it is for you. Save $100. And I got a feeling. I got a feeling that this will sell out faster than gummies. I'm not playing. The shipping will be delayed, prayerfully not sold out, before gummies. And y'all know if it get real crazy, they will make it to where you can't even order it. So as soon as we see it in eSweet, because y'all know we're gonna be on it. Soon as I'm ready to order right now. If they let me put my order in right now, I would be ordering my stuff right now. Okay, I'm trying to figure out, trying to hold out so I can actually show y'all the product on launch day. But I'm like, we're gonna have to just make it do what it do, because I need to take the product. Y'all want to make sure y'all have your money. I'm serious, to place it the day of. So I don't know if you need to get samples. I don't know what you need to do in these next 4 days to increase your income. So that, ain't that a blessing? Can we just say that? That was one of the biggest things for me when it came to this business. Go to your job and try to increase your income in between payday. How that work? Anybody? I don't know. How you do that? It don't. Okay. I'm just, because maybe it do. Because sometimes I be confused when I'm talking to distributors, and because I be like, that was my non-negotiable when it came to this business. I literally can increase my income any day. Me. Yes. Do I have to work in order to do it? Yes. But I get to increase my income. If I got to sit and talk to 1,000 people, I can. My job ain't giving me that option. I really want y'all to call y'all job today and be like, listen, Susan. Susan, I got this unexpected bill and I'm trying to figure out. Because even if you're not salary and you work at an hourly job, they still got to approve your overtime. And you got to go exchange your time to get it. And I'd rather exchange my time on my couch than exchange my job going out in the cold. I don't know where you live, but where I live, it's freezing outside right now. I got to get dressed. I got to find somewhere for my kids to go. Oh, Susan is your VP. Well, call Susan. Susan, I ain't got no money. I'm trying to figure out how I can make it to next paycheck. Can I get an increase? Susan like, well, maybe you can apply for a new promotion, or I don't know. I don't know. Why Susan talk like that? I'm sorry, Susan. Lord. But that's one thing I loved about this business, that I always had the ability. I had the ability to do it. And for me, I even say somebody who does hair, like I would have to go out and actually have clients come to my house and do their hair in order to get the money. When it comes to this business, I can literally, there is an unlimited supply of people on social media. I just have to be willing to put it out there. And so if I needed cash right now, I would post about the samples like never before. I would go live, and like if I'm trying to get rid of products in my house, I go live with my products that I have here. I should do that at my grandma's house. Oh my God, if y'all see my grandma pantry and all her products, I'm selling her stuff. She don't even realize. I might sell this creamer, $100. Who want it? Because people be thirsty for the old keto coffee. Who want the bag? First come, first serve. I bet you somebody will buy it too. Probably some of them other people, yeah, they'll buy it. I ain't gonna do that. I'm just gonna use my creamer. But y'all get what I'm saying? Like, I think you have to get into the mindset of really truly taking control of your business and your life and staying away from people who do not control their life. Because if I go talk to my coworkers about this, they'd be like, well, girl, you just make it until next time. Or maybe it's time to find a new job. Like maybe you should apply for a new position. You know, that's kind of the mind frame that they're in. Opposed to over here, it's like, bro, you got to talk to more people and you got to start believing it, because then you'll start to attract the people who are just like you. And then you got to walk it out. Oh, y'all want to do something fun today? Yeah. All right. As soon as we hop off here, I'm going to make a reel, and then I want everybody to duplicate the reel. Make sure y'all tag me when y'all post it. Okay. And it's so crazy is this is actually a part, I was supposed to do this last week. God forgive me. Delayed obedience is disobedience. So I'm just asking for you to forgive me in Jesus' name. I was supposed to do this last week. My husband knows because I told him. But I don't trust your feelings. They ain't loyal. So we're going to make reels, and I'm going to show y'all how to do it, but it's about walking it out. And that kind of goes into our, the stuff that we have to share for y'all at conference. You know, it's extra. It ain't extra. Shut your mouth. It's not extra. It's fun. You can have your kids in it. We're going to walk it out. And it's kind of just a prep for what we have to share for you guys after conference. So I think that's a good thing to end on. We'll go through this day. It's so much fun, and get it in. Shout out to Travia. I don't know if Amaya's on here now, but Travia, who just popped her first Ruby of the month. Congratulations. Yes. And Amaya is going emerald. I don't know. She might go diamond. Messing with her because she is on it. It's something about believing. You know, like I tell y'all, it is so simple to grasp hold of belief. And I'm gonna tell y'all what I've learned about, and I'm okay with sharing names. I mean, I'm praying that the names stay around, praise the Lord. But one thing that I don't see is people speaking life over their business quickly. And that was something that I always did. I was Ruby saying I was a black diamond. I was Ruby. I was Diamond saying I was gonna make $1 million. And they like, where? I always was willing to speak over my business and speak out something that I could not do, so that if it happened, it had to be God. I put myself in position to look stupid so God could come in and fill the gaps, because he's a gap filler. And that's one thing that I've seen her doing, is speaking life over her business and speaking out towards what she wants or what she believes that she can have. That's the part. What she believes that she can have. Not what she has in her pocket, not what she has in her bank account, but what she believes that she can have. And that's the missing component for a lot of people. Life has beat you up so much that you don't believe that you can have anything, because you walk with your eyes and not by the faith that you say that you have. So it might be time to start maybe we should do walk it like I talk it. No, we're doing walk it out. Okay, maybe I'll decide after this. Walk it like it, talk it, walk. Like, I don't even like this song. We're not doing that one. Okay. All right. So I hate this song. I don't like it. People stroll to it. I just be like, stop. Like, I'm not getting in on this line. You like it, Robin. Robin be out here getting it with the young folks. All right. I'm always so for real. I'll be like, I'm standing on the side. Ooh. All right. She do what she got there. You would think I'd be the one, but it be Robin. See? Y'all think I'm so extra. I'm not. It's not me all the time. All right. I'm praying. I am still extra. All right. Dear Heavenly Father, God, thank you for this Monday. Oh, yes. Thank you for the hearts and minds and those who share, God. Thank you for even the comments, people who engage in the comments, and just these revelations or revelization that you are giving us, God. You're just opening up our eyes. You're opening up our hearts. You're opening up our minds. You are transforming us. We are renewed because of the word that's inside of us. And just at that time, I would even say the people on here who have been committed to opening up their Bible app or spending that alone time with you and opening up their words, digging into Bible studies, God, people who have been desiring that, having that inner burn to spend more time with you and get into your word. And so God, today, as we go throughout our day, let those seeds that were planted during the 9 to 10 o'clock, God, allow them to grow like never before. God, exponential growth, exponential growth, exponential growth. Let them walk with confidence. Let them walk with confidence that we serve the most victorious, the only one and true living God. And as we walk throughout this day, knowing the God that we serve, we're going to get the godly actions that you desire for us. So we just praise you in advance for the victory that is already ours, the victory that we already walk in, the victory when it comes to eSweet, the victory when it comes to our families, when it comes to our health, when it comes to our life, the victory in all areas, God, because we bear fruit in every season, because we are connected to the vine. We are connected to the tree. We are connected to your tree. Our roots are in you. And so, God, we just praise you in advance. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Happy Monday, friends. Remember, today at 7 p.m. we have the opportunity cost. So get y'all people, because you want to be boxed. You're going to want to be boxed. So invite some people. Peace out, y'all.